It's remarkable that it's 50 years since the independence of Nigeria. During that time, the country has faced some very big challenges. It continues to face some very big challenges. But its people have shown enterprise, grit, determination, and often inspiration from the worlds of business to the worlds of sport. I know that the links between Britain and Nigeria are very strong indeed. They're links between people, not least through the Nigerian community in Britain, which makes such an important contribution to our communities. Those links are economic links, because we know the value of trade and economic development between Britain and Nigeria. And of course the links are political as well. In successive meetings with Chief Majukwe, we've talked about the common challenges we face, about Nigeria's place in Africa's development, and about how we can work together. I know that the Nigerian community in Britain, in all of its diversity, has a lot to contribute to the future of our country, but I also know that you keep a very close eye and very close links with developments in Nigeria. We're all concerned to see the economic, social, security and political development in Nigeria on a more stable path. We're all committed to playing our part in making it happen. I know that we have many reasons to be grateful for the contribution of the Nigerian community in Britain to our country. In the following video, you're going to see some examples of the difference that you make.
My career has been, over the last 30 years, I've worked in a variety of different settings, mainly public service. So I started off as a housing officer for Newham, and then I worked for housing associations of various kinds. I have chaired a number of major policy initiatives, either assisting governments, not just this government, but the previous government, with things like youth unemployment, criminal justice, housing, health. I am currently the Chief Executive of Turning Point, which is a not-for-profit health and social care company. We employ 2,000 people, 80 million turnover, and operate in 244 locations, and providing services to hundreds of thousands of people across the country. And all those jobs have involved working with people, actually, across the piece.
Good afternoon, how can I help you?
Without seeming to be boastful, there's lots of things that I am proud of, mainly because of the work I've done with other people rather than, what I've done. I think, hopefully I've been a catalyst for good work with and by others. Being a member of the House of Lords means that you are fully in public life. There's no getting away from it. The scrutiny around what you do, or how you do it, and what you vote for and what you don't vote for. I don't spend my life in the House of Lords. I have two rules. I only speak where I think I might make a difference. I only vote on things I understand. So I don't vote very often. I don't speak very often. But that's no bad thing. I never confuse access with influence, but I do use what influence I have, hopefully, to improve the lives of those people that are furthest away from power. Nigeria has contributed hugely intellectually to the world stage. If you find Nigerians everywhere, not just in this country, contributing hugely in America, in Europe. The business acumen of Nigerians is well known in their contribution to the financial world. There are some really big challenges in Nigeria, which I think it has dealt with or is dealing with. I guess one of the challenges for Nigeria as a country is how does it create a more equitable society with a more reliable infrastructure. What is clear in most societies is that more equal societies tend to be more successful than societies that aren't equal. I think that this country has contributed a lot to my life. I'm born here, my kids here, I'm married here, but I also am proud to be a Nigerian, to be of Nigerian stock, as it were, and I'm proud of what that country's achieved also. So I have no problem with being and. I think we live in an and world rather than either or world, so I'm happy with that.
Fashion is in me, and I just wanted to get involved in all aspects of it, which is getting the models dressed, making the clothes for the models to wear, getting involved with hair and makeup. So I thought, okay, if I could just put my hands in everything, then I can all make it come together. So I've got the two clothing lines, Makusha Jeans and Mary Shita Couture. Makusha Jeans being the denim, line, and the Mary Shooter Couture will be in the evening wear. And I've got the agency going as well for the models. Most of them could be seen in magazines in London, and they could be seen on catwalks in Nigeria, in LA, all over the place. So it's another thing that I take a lot of pride in as well. Everything just sort of goes hand in hand. All I need now is just more than 24 hours in a day. Britain is home to me. I grew up here. I was born in Nigeria. Both my parents are Nigerians. But I was raised up here. This is home, basically. I love London. I love Britain. I love everything we have to offer, especially with fashion. It's almost like the best place to be in. Where else do you want to be in if you're into fashion or you're a designer? It's the home of fashion. But Nigeria is just such a bright, vibrant place to be in. And it's very inspirational as well every time I go there. So what I try to do is to pay some respect to my Nigerian culture and being British, is I incorporate the fabrics that I use, the Nigerian fabrics, into my sort of English designs. So I sort of use some nice British sort of silhouettes and very simple dresses, but the fabric speaks for themselves because they're very rich in color and very elegant. And so I sort of incorporate that, and people seem to really, really love it. Nigeria is a beautiful country. You know, in the next 50 years, I'll just basically like to see the rest of the world for what Nigeria is. I'm Nigerian, I see the culture, I see the richness in the country, and I just wish and pray that the rest of the world will see it. You know, just Nigeria being comfortable for people that live there and people that are coming to sort of experience what we have to offer, and just for the country to sort of just be celebrated a lot more than it is. We've got a lot to offer. There's a lot that Nigeria has to offer with businesses and people that are there, and you know, the natural resources and stuff like that as well. So I'd say there's things that we can learn from, you know, Britain. There's stuff that Britain can learn from us. It's just vice versa, really, and there's a lot that we can offer. So it might take a while, but you know, I think it's definitely going to happen.
In London, with the population that is as diverse as any other major cities in the world, if the community doesn't trust the police, then we cannot work together. The work I do with the community varies in the sense that the community, when it's defined, is made up of different group of people. It could be the work we do with the religious groups, it could be the work we do with the mosque, it could be the work we do with the churches, it could be the work we do with the schools, and being in the city, it could be the work we do with the banks as well. But we do go out to develop a relationship with our community because we don't want to wait until we need them before we start befriending them. So it's being able to actually make them to understand that this is our police force. That is important. So my job on day-to-day basis varies about meeting people, developing relationships, and nurturing those relationships. That is quite important. In essence, being a Nigerian who lives in Britain now is to be able to actually look at the commonality between the two countries and to see how we can actually assist each other. And it's not a matter of master or child relationship, it's equal relationship, whereby it's a give and take. And we think we have mutual respect that we both enjoy. And the relationship I've developed over the past 10 years is that of someone who actually lives in Britain, who works in Britain, but at the same time looking forward to going back to Nigeria one day. My hope for Nigeria in the next 50 years is to be able to look back to the last 50 years and compare the progress we have made. The progress we have made in terms of how our politics works, the progress we have made in how our infrastructure works, and the progress we have made on how we have actually progressed in the world as a nation that treats its people very well.